Alright guys, it is 8:18 p.m. on day 46. I know it seems like we're skipping into the future, and I'm right back here at Cumbres Pass. But unlike in our last video, it's just me tonight. I'm taking the spot in my head. So I'm back here at Cumbres to resume northbound hike. After a week off, it was a wonderful, wonderful break, and I am super excited to be back here and getting started again early tomorrow morning. I will have a few days without any videos coming up, just so that we can kind of like maintain that sort of lead time. Oh, I did say it's day 46, but I didn't say it's May 18th. So there are going to be a few videoless days coming up, just so that I can get time to get back on trail and start processing videos and catch up with you guys. But I will have 2 videos coming from my break. So just a quick overview of what the break looked like. I jumped off trail here in Chama. Spent one night with a ton of hikers in Chama. It was great to see a lot of folks again. And then after that one night in Chama, I was picked up by a lovely gal named Rusty, and stayed with Rusty and her partner Alan just outside of Chama in Dulce, New Mexico. I think I stayed like 3 or 4 nights there. I'm not even really sure how many. They had a wonderful little off-the-grid property. They just moved down from Durango and volunteered, kind of raised their hand to put me up for a few nights. They were happy to keep me the whole week, or so they alleged. But yeah, and I would have been happy to stay with them. But as it turns out, I have a buddy up in Pagosa Springs, Brian, and his wife Caroline. And I stayed with the 2 of them for 3 nights, 2 or 3 nights up in Pagosa Springs as well. So while I was down with Rusty, it was a wonderful stay. I stayed in their trailer called Pippin. They have a little tow-behind trailer called Pippin, and it was a wonderful, wonderful stay. They have 2 lovely dogs, 2 little blue heelers who were fantastic. Let's see, Zane and Claire, I think were their names. And a great tree that was just full of hummingbirds. It was an absolutely remarkable stay. And Alan can cook up a fury, man. They were just both really, really, really friendly people, really gracious people, and super duper interesting people. Thank you again to Rusty and Alan for putting me up, and Zane for all of the wrestles, and Claire for just being a good dog. But yeah, after a few nights with them, Brian came down and scooped me up from Pagosa. Stayed another couple nights with him. He used to be a hotshot smoke jumper, U.S. Forest Service firefighter. Oh my goodness. And he still works with the Forest Service, but not so much smoke jumping anymore. Now he gets to, my understanding is anyways, works with radios more than chainsaws at this point, which is good for him. But Pagosa was a great town. I met up with a few hikers while we were there. I met up with Mome. I met up with Half Mile. I met up with Porky and Kingpin and Dynamite. I did not get an interview with Porky. Excuse me, I did not get an interview with Half Mile, but one of the videos you'll see coming up right before we get back to the trail is the interview I had with Porky, Kingpin, Mome, and Dynamite, who had just traversed this section that I'm going to be starting into tomorrow. So make sure you check back in a few days for kind of a sneak peek of what that section looks like, because I'll just suffice it to say I was really happy to sit down with them and get their opinions on it. Let's see, what else? Oh, well, the big news is that a fire started while I was in Pagosa, actually yesterday afternoon, and quickly spread from 1 acre to 5 acres. There's a truck going by. 1 acre to 5 acres to 50 acres. And then it was like 50 acres at 5 o'clock, and then by sundown it was almost 600 acres. So that's definitely meant kind of rejiggering what our approach is going to be for this next little section. We'll do what we can, and we'll see how far we're able to get. There are a couple different alternates that we could potentially bail out on, but we'll kind of see how we go. All the same, I mean, what that wound up meaning is that my buddy Brian was called in to work, even though he had like guaranteed days off and stuff like that. Nothing's guaranteed when there's a forest fire raging, so he was called in, and I wasn't able to say goodbye. But thank you, Brian and Caroline, again for putting me up. So yeah, I mentioned I'll have that interview with Porky, Kingpin, Dynamite, and Mome. That'll be the day before the videos of me being back on trail come out. And the day before that, I'll have an interview with Rusty, who put me up in Dulce. So not a hiker, but certainly an interesting woman. And I'd love for y'all to meet her. So couldn't be more excited about that. Yeah, and then some of the folks I'm going to be breaking out of here with tomorrow. Some of the folks I had a couple beers with tonight include Martin and my old friend Nurse, who I haven't seen actually since south of Doc Campbell's in the Gila River Range. I think my last night with him might have been on Bear Canyon, or Bear Creek. But yeah, super excited to meet back up with Nurse. Super excited to start hiking with Martin. And then of course Midnight Chocolate is here as well. Cowgirl is here, but I think she's going to be cutting off in the morning. So yeah, we'll get back on trail tomorrow. And as I mentioned again, there will be a few days without any videos, but definitely be sure to check back. I will have that interview with Rusty, and then I'll have the interview with the 4 other hikers. And the day after that, we will be back to trail videos. So good Lord willing, creek don't rise, fires don't burn. We should be moving out of here tomorrow morning. So anyways, thanks so much for checking in. Thanks for your patience with this, and I will definitely talk to you guys in a few days. All right.